Hey there, friends. On Friday, we found that if you take circumference and you divide it by the diameter, you end up getting pi. And from those ratios, we ended up creating this formula right here that says C equals diameter times pi. Now, I don't know if you worked with one of your parents or if you worked with an older sibling that maybe has done this before, but they may have looked at this formula right here and said, I don't recognize that. That is not what my math book told me. That's not what a website will tell me, and they're actually right. So if you look over here, I Googled circumference formula, and this is the formula that it came up with, and that formula right there is not this formula right here. But what I wanted to show you is that with a little bit of substitution, I can make this formula look just like this formula right here. So let's do that. In order to do that, the first thing you have to know is the relationship between the radius and the diameter. So we did that not too long ago. We said the diameter was the longest chord. It was the one that went from one end of the circle to the other end of the circle, and it was through the middle. And we said a radius started at any point on the circle. Could have been any one of these points, but I just picked this point randomly, and it went all the way to the middle. All right, now, I already traced the radius here. So if I take the radius and I double it, there we go. The radius doubled. You can see it hits this point right over here. You can see that when I double the radius, it becomes a diameter. That is a chord that reaches from one end to the other and goes through the middle. That has a special name called a diameter. So twice the radius ends up being the diameter. I'll say it again. If you double the radius, you get a diameter. And I'll say that one more time. If you double the radius, you end up getting the diameter. So let's write that down. If you double the radius, you end up getting the diameter. All right, this is going to be an important formula or equation that we can use to help us make this look like the one that we saw on Google. So let me take C equals D times pi, and let me rewrite it right over here. C equals D times pi. And what I'm going to do, and I like to do this when I do substitution, is I'm going to put a little box around the variable d. Okay, a little box around the variable d. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the d, and I'm going to replace that diameter with what diameter is equivalent to, which is 2r. So in this box where it used to say diameter, now I'm going to put 2r, because 2r is the same thing as diameter. So I've got 2r pi. Now you got to remember there's some invisible multiplication signs in between there. And now that I've done that substitution, I'm going to get rid of that little box. And you're going to see it says 2 times r times pi. Now I can use a little bit of the commutative law right here because of multiplication, which means I can put all these in any order that I want to. And I'm going to leave the 2, I'm going to make that go first, but I'm going to switch these two up. I'm going to make the pi go second and the r go last. 2 pi r. And voila, we've got this formula that says 2 pi r. Now if you go back to Google, you'll see that's exactly what they say when you Google it. Okay? Now it doesn't really matter which one you use. We can use the one that we came up with, which is circumference equals d times pi, but for whatever reason, this is the one that's the most widely accepted. Circumference equals 2 pi r.